What's going on, guys? So today we're about 2 days out from getting a huge winter storm in the Northeast. We're actually like lower mid-Atlantic, lower end of Northeast, so we're not getting the craziness way up north. Probably about 3 to 8, something like that. Depends how it comes across the Delaware Bay. I wanted to go over our residential setup. So we have about a good split between commercial and residential. One truck does the commercial and one truck does the residential. And when I say residential, it's a lot of homeowners, some that come back and forth, some that are here year round, and some that are bed and breakfasts where they're technically commercial, but not. They're still kind of zero tolerance. So that can get tricky. But I wanted to go over our setup. So this trailer right here is our landscape trailer. I'll show you inside. You guys have seen these videos. This is all of our landscaping equipment, partially. Hedge trimmers, scag, leaf cleanups, tools up front, landscape, hardscape, no mowing. This is like strictly cleanup type equipment in there. Mowing trailers over there, winterized. But what I do here is we have the grass truck, the Ram 2500. That usually gets filled with about a full half, whatever I can get. Probably a full pallet of salt, or actually we're switching more so to calcium chloride. So I'd say salt, calcium chloride in there, and then emergency bags in the back, I'd say. So we decided to use this the last year because using a trailer for doing residential works out very well. So guys aren't lugging stuff out of the back of a pickup. I did that for a few years. So what I do with this trailer is I make sure it's heavy. So we have salt in there, and then we have the scag up here and all the other equipment up front. So that has always worked out well because I've never had an issue with slipping and sliding or anything like that. I've never had an issue on turning around, roundabouts, nothing at all. No issues at all ever with a trailer doing snow. And the most we've had, I've done residential side, is like 13 plus. And that's with a trailer on the roads, no issue at all. If you know how to drive a truck in the snow and a trailer, you're fine. It takes practice, like you will slip and slide, but it's really not that difficult. So we move everything up to have weight in there, and there's plenty of weight in the bed, so that's not an issue. There's 4x4 on that thing, zero issues. But for as long as you guys have been watching, I know a lot of you, we talk numbers and stuff like that off video, but all of my residential snow stuff has been paid for over 5 years. If you guys check it out, I'll go down the line. This is the classic 24-inch Ariens I bought from Lowe's maybe 8 or 9 years ago. They don't sell them anymore. This thing starts first pull. This is a, I think it's a 2-stage. These are the single stage, I believe. Yeah, so these are the 2-stage snow blowers. This is the single stage. But this Ariens, I mean, I've used it for maybe one snow event in the last 8 years. I mean, we run it every couple months, oil, plugs, I do the whole thing. Great machine. Self-propel up front, and you can set the height and all that. Forward, reverse, it does all of that. Awesome machine. This is like a high-end residential model, and again, it's easily 8 years old. We run everything, do it all, take care of everything in the off season. Paid off. First storm. These two are the Toro Power Clears, and if you check them out, these are a little older just by looking at the models. These are nowhere near as fancy looking as the ones that came out in the last couple years. So the first one I bought was the 721E from Home Depot. Again, 5-6 years ago now. Dude, these things run, man. Like, I absolutely love Toro. We had a Toro dealer around here when I first got in business when I was in high school, and I still have my Toro belt-driven walk-behind. I hands down love Toro. But besides like the Home Depot, I've never had any other Toro type. Our dealer closed down. He was a super old guy when I first got in the business, and I got a walk behind pistol grip used, but that was it. But I love these Toro Power Clears. So this one here, again, second storm paid off, done. The next winter, once we used these machines for the first storm, I bought the commercial model. This was a little bit more expensive, I think almost double the price. Amazing machine also. Starts first pull, chokes are in the back here. See, chokes are in there, keys up here, primer bowls here, pull cord, same setup. Awesome machines. Snow shovels. They can get tricky. You can get crazy with what you want to get. We use, I don't know if this is even spelled right, Garant Pro Series from Canada. I found them to work the most. SiteOne's far away from me. I think that orange one's from SiteOne. If they break, they cover it, whatever. But anyway, those snow shovels are great. This I bought years ago, this True Temper. I'm not really a huge fan of it because guys will try to muscle all that snow and just, yeah, your back will get destroyed. But this is good if you're like pushing driveways like after the snow blowers are done, just to clean up, tidy up. And then one thing here that you guys have seen on the internet, and I took this idea a few years ago, well, 6 or 7 now. This is the, we call this the salt bucket. So I took this old, what is this, like a harness to a hedge trimmer, and just took it off, and you just put it right over your shoulder. I'll try to show you guys. So pick this right up, just goes right over your shoulder, and you can just throw the salt out as you go. Doesn't make it too heavy. It's great for steps. We do a couple restaurants, a couple commercial places that you need to go up steps. Only thing, this is like the third one I made because it's plastic. Plastic breaks in the cold, but overall, it's a pretty neat idea. Just if you do something like that, don't fill it up. Salt spreader. This is a Scott's Turf Builder Mini. My wife got this for me before we were engaged. I'm pretty sure it was one of the first few Christmas gifts she got me over 10 years ago. This thing I used to put grass seed down for 2-3 years, and then I got an even nicer one for that now, for that side of the business. So I turned this into a salt spreader. It's that simple. Yes, it's not big, but it fills up, and it has all the regular spreader settings. So this is just for salt. This stays with all the snow equipment. Guys, this thing was like 50 bucks, I think, like over 10 years ago. This is one of my first presents she ever got me when we were together, and I still have it. Still take care of it. Gets washed after every storm, obviously. But this, we do a lot of small properties around here. You guys have seen them. So this will fill like half a bag, and that's even too many for one property after the other. So that's what we do in there, guys. And I think I went over in here too. This is, we pushed everything up front. Emergency bags are on the side. So for residential, if we have people that flag us down in the middle of a storm, the guys have a contract they have to give them. They got to sign all that kind of stuff. And if they want salt or calcium chloride, that's what those bags are for in there. The stuff that we'll have in the truck up there is already set for certain properties. So I always buy a little more each year, because when you're out at 7 a.m. and you got the lights on and you hear the beeper and the machines go, and people do come out like crazy, you know, because they want to get to their supermarket or whatever. But that's the setup, guys. Obviously the steel backpack blower up there for light accumulations. But guys, that's it. For residential, you can stay super low end and still make tons of money when it comes to snow. So in the truck, I'll show you really quick. What I have in here is, first off, I have a bag of gloves, face shields. Everyone obviously has their own things, but I have a bunch of backups of everything just to have. Cooler, I probably don't need that. And then this is a pair of overalls and a heavy duty jacket I bought a long time ago from Refrigiwear. I've only used this once and I still sweat like crazy. Comfort rating up to -60 degrees. We have issues around here when it gets to -5. So that's that, guys. This is what I would wear if I'm out and not plowing, if it's that cold. If not, honestly, you guys know when you're moving and grooving, you're just sweating and stuff like that. But that's the inside. Truck stays on at every property. We don't turn it off. We keep it going, just so it's warm. But guys, that's about it. If you have any questions, comment below, let me know. Snow, just don't go crazy for residential. You do not need to dump money into snow equipment. Like, if you're in certain areas and you get snow every week, I understand that, but still, even at that point, it's a little, you can get crazy and not make your money back in snow. And residential, it's like turnkey. So with all of our stuff, this is 2 days, a day and a half before the storm. I run everything today, and then a few hours before the storm starts, I run everything, and then before everyone gets here, I run everything one final time. Checking on your things goes a long way. Listen, things happen, it's life, everything's gonna break, and you can prepare months, weeks, years in advance, and the day of it could break. That's how life works. But guys, that's the setup. If you have any questions, comment below. I'll try to help you out, but like I said, if I can give you any advice, don't go crazy with residential. You know, you don't have to buy fancy, super crazy stuff. And that's really all the info I got for you. So once again, guys, thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button, please, and have a good one.